tonight's entertainment.
Welcome in to another episode of Mike on the Mic, episode 14. Thank you for listening on RTFSportsNetwork.com. Thank you for tuning in live on Facebook, on Twist, and the RTF Sports Network, also the Twin Cities Network. Mike on the Mic is a spin-off show from our parent show, Twist, the Week in Sports Talk. We had a great show yesterday. We were without Greg Green Bay Bauman. He had other priorities he had to attend to. You can catch GBG, I believe, every Wednesday on the RTFSportsNetwork.com. All of our shows are at the 1 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. Also, Benzi's Bit. So, breaking news, I drafted my first fantasy football team yesterday. Was pretty excited about that. I do one with the fellas from Twist. It's our third year in a row. For you tuning in live, you can see up here, I have 4 rings, 2 of which are from back-to-back seasons. So I'm looking to three-peat this year. A little controversy. I did get the number 1 pick for the third year in a row. Wasn't my fault. I mean, it's ESPN. It's automated. Literally, we just hop into the room, and it is what it is. So I really was hoping, for ladder of the draft, but it didn't work out. But I'm not going to complain when you get Christian McCaffrey. He's basically, if he has a season like he did last, he was a number 1. I think he was a 13th running back and a 12th receiver overall. So he's a number 1 running back and a number 1 receiver tied up in a big knot. So I was just going to share my team before we get rolling here with the show. So my starters, my team name is Make Fantasy Great Again. I have Donald Trump cartoon picture with the Viking hat on. So if you didn't know, now you do. Matt Ryan starting at quarterback. Christian McCaffrey and Joe Mixon are my starting running backs. A.J. Brown, F1, Terry McLaurin. Receivers, Travis Kelce. Tight end, DJ Chark Jr. Got him in my flex as of now. Ravens D, Zane Gonzalez. Now here's my bench. Rookie, Jonathan Taylor, running back. Rookie, DeAndre Swift, running back. TJ Hawkinson, backup tight end. Josh Allen, backup quarterback. Maybe my starter. He did finish either 6th or 7th last year overall. So we will see there. Emmanuel Sanders, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Pittman Jr. to top. I'm feeling great about it. I'm stoked. That's one of 4 draft leagues that I'm in this year. All money leagues. Doing my first dynasty league. We'll find out the draft positions on Monday. So pretty stoked. So there we go. Let's get into the show. With some would you rather? Would you rather be beautiful / handsome but stupid, or intelligent but ugly? Well, I am handsome and stupid, and I love myself, so I'll go with that. Would you rather be balding but fit, or overweight with a full head of hair? I don't care if you got good-looking hair, if you're a big fat ass. What's the guy from Austin Powers? The fat bastard. Yeah, he's got a full head of hair, but he's ridiculously fat. So I'd rather be bald and fit. I would just Mr. Clean that shit. Oh, that rhymed. Would you rather never be able to eat meat or never be able to eat vegetables? Is this a real question? This is preposterous. I'd never. It's the vegetables. I love meat. Wow. I clearly don't read these before. I like it to be, just off the top of my head because I would delete that. I would never read that. Would you rather have a completely automated home or a self-driving car? Not sure what a completely automated home is. Maybe it's just Alexa, start the shower type deal, which I think that'd be pretty sweet. Alexa, start the shower. Alexa, play Enya. Alexa, stop the shower. Grab my towel. Yeah, automated home. Are those going to be real? Probably be spendy. Would you rather be an amazing painter or a brilliant mathematician? I'll take mathematician. You can count cards. I think you could probably make more money being a mathematician. Who cares about paint? Would you rather be famous but ridiculed or just a normal person? Well, all famous people are ridiculed. So who cares? I want to be famous. I want to be on those billboards. I want all that shit. It comes with money. Unless I could be a normal person with fat stacks of cash. Would you rather have a flying carpet or a car that can drive underwater? Again, if you watch my show, Mike on the Mic, I would always pick flying. Sharks are underwater. Who cares what's underwater? I want to fly shit. Would you rather never be stuck in traffic again or never get another cold? Well, my immune system is flawless. Just knocked on wood there. So I would never get stuck in traffic. I hate traffic. I hate semis. I have road rage issues because people don't know how to fucking drive. So anything on the road that can ease my way along, I will take. Would you rather have a bottomless box of Legos or a bottomless gas tank? What am I, 3 years old? I drive. I just said that. I want bottomless gas. Would you rather be forced to eat only spicy food or only incredibly bland food? Well, you might not know this about me, but I put sriracha on everything. So I already eat it spicy. I love shit spicy. Bland is disgusting. Was over at Green Bay Greg's for the draft yesterday, and he had this brand new hot sauce, kick-ass, it was just, you read the label, and but yeah, I said, open it up and let me get some of that shit. I'm all for it. So there we go. Would you rather? Episode 14. Mike on the Mic. We're going to get into some sports stories. Some of these happened a few days ago. I don't care. This is my show. If you didn't know by now, I do whatever the hell I want. This is going to be weird. I'm going to start in the NHL. We talked about this on Twist yesterday a little bit. The Lightning win over the Blue Jackets after 5 overtimes. I just wanted to break down some of the stuff of the game because it's electric, like lightning. After 6 hours, 5 overtimes, and a combined 151 shots on goal, the Lightning beat the Blue Jackets. So it was the 4th longest playoff game in NHL history. The goaltender for the Blue Jackets made 85 saves, which is a new record, topping the old record of 73 saves. The Lightning alone tallied 88 shots on goal. Columbus defenseman Seth Jones also set a new NHL record for ice time. 65 minutes and 6 seconds that dude was skating around. Beat the old record of 63 minutes and 51 seconds. So Seth Jones even beat out his dad, NBA player Popeye Jones, for minutes played in a game. Popeye Jones had a career-high 56 minutes in 96. What a badass name, Popeye Jones. Bet you the dude was a beast. On a TV timeout in the 4th overtime period, the big screen in the fanless arena announced it was time for a 7th inning stretch. By the 5th overtime, a new message appeared. Sorry if you had other plans tonight. I love these guys that are just messing around in empty stadiums, just dicking around, basically for TV, because clearly nobody is there. But that's just pretty funny. Moving on. Matt Burke used to be center for the Minnesota Vikings. came out with a pandemic-proof schedule. So it increased the amount of time between each team's games called game gaps. React's proposed solution ensures, with little exception, that every team will benefit from the game gaps of between 11 and 14 days versus 7 days under the normal NFL schedule. By comparison, game gaps that span every other Sunday translate to a 14-day game gap. So comments from Burt: given adequate testing, players who contract COVID will have adequate time to quarantine and heal, in many instances missing at most one game. Now, it sucks because it's a 10-game pandemic-proof schedule. He's talked about it on the local radio station here in Minnesota. Yes, I'm from Minnesota, this beautiful, beautiful state. They have proposed it to the NFL. I think they'll probably put it in their back pocket if for some reason things start unraveling. It's kind of a good idea. Players will play 2 games every 22 to 28 days. So big gaps, big game gaps, as they like to call it. But it's a way to actually have a full season, 10-game season. But get it done, do it safe, and with those players, if you get it, you're only missing a game. So it's interesting, which is why I wanted to bring it up and talk about it. But we'll see. ESPN talked to Sean McVay about a Monday Night Football job. So reports say they were talking to him about an analyst job. McVay obviously didn't take the job. He's preparing for his 4th season with the Rams. I believe they're on Hard Knocks too. I think it's both LA teams. I have HBO. I haven't even checked it out, which it sounds like a lot of people haven't because the ratings were down. But I don't think they really pumped it as far as advertisement. I haven't seen anything on HBO or ESPN. I think most people with the pandemic just assume they maybe weren't having a season. But you bet your ass I'm watching it because I love that damn show. So with McVay staying, obviously, with the Rams, ESPN will move forward with Steve Levy, Louis Riddick, and Brian Greasy. That's a good threesome right there. Threesomes are good. Here's my man. Benzie would call him his, not the bonehead of the week. This would be his baller of the week. Steelers cancer survivor James Conner says he never considered opting out during the pandemic. What a beast. So the Steelers running back diagnosed with stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma during his college career at Pitt told reporters Wednesday morning that despite being a high-risk player, he never seriously considered opting out of his final year of his rookie contract. Dude can't stay healthy for what it is, but good for him. He says he's healthy. His immune system is back to healthy, and he's not worried. You get paid to play the game. Bills, Ed Oliver says he feels violated by unwarranted arrest. I touched on this a few weeks back on the show. Oliver said he blew a .00 on the breathalyzer, but officers still believed he was impaired. He took an independent blood test following the arrest, but he had to wait for the legal process to play out. He was frustrated. The experience also allowed him to reflect on the volatile interactions with the police. So didn't get in trouble. One thing he doesn't know is you can blow zeros and still be high on cocaine. Dipshit. So, it didn't necessarily, wasn't because you were black necessarily or because the police were assholes. He did come out and say he was tired, so the dude was probably swerving around, pulled him over, he blew zeros. They're just, we got to take you in, man. We got to do some more testing just to be safe. And then we'll see. But he did get cleared, so good for you. He was the 9th overall pick in 2019. And he's a beast. I wanted the Vikes to get him. He had 43 tackles and 5 sacks. Definitely going to be a focal point of that defense. Deion Sanders joins Barstool Sports. The Hall of Fame cornerback has vowed to become a college football head coach next year. But until that, he's pulling up a bar stool and talking sports. The move was announced last week after he exited NFL Network, reportedly declining to take a pay cut. He'll have a podcast, make regular appearances on Pardon My Take, and be a part of the Sunday pregame show. Yeah, he doesn't like taking pay cuts. He's like, I'm going to be coaching here soon. I'll go over to Barstool Sports and do my thing. So good for you, Deion. I don't listen or watch or whatever that Barstool Sports thing is. I'm a twist guy, and so are all of you. So screw you, Barstool Sports. Maybe here in the near future, we'll be hearing about somebody leaving for Twist. We'll welcome them in. Dodgers, LeBron James team up to make Dodger Stadium a polling site. So the Lakers Star Voting Rights Group has partnered with the Dodgers to make a polling place for the November general election. This marks the first time a Major League Baseball team has offered its facility as a voting center. So LeBron being LeBron, making moves, trying to get people out to vote. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Dude is just... he's a beast. He just tries to do things to better us. He should run for office. You got to love that guy. Enough of that national news. It's time to keep it local. I already mentioned it in the show. I'm a Minnesota-based show. Born and raised, but not always stayed. But that is where my heart lies. So let's get into some stuff around here. Everson Griffin. Goodbye, bud. He signed a 1-year, $6 million deal with the boys. He had 8 sacks in 2019, 74.5 for his career. He had a career-high 13 sacks back in 2017. I believe he was a 4th or 5th round pick when we got him. The Vikings have done a great job over the years of getting these late-round guys. Look at Danielle Hunter, Brian Robinson, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So sucks that he couldn't finish it out here, but it's going to be great for him. You hop into a new situation in Dallas. It revitalizes these guys' careers a lot of the time because, you get stagnant. After a 10-year career with the Vikes, I think moving over to the Cowboys is a good move, and I hope he has a great season. So good luck, Ev. Penguins to retain 2020 first-round draft choice. Those bastards. They've opted to retain their first-round draft pick for this year's draft. They will instead send their first-round pick next year to the Wild to complete the trade for Jason Zucker. This was a condition that they made on February 11th that they could choose which year they wanted to send the Wild. So what's interesting is the Penguins actually got bounced. Sidney Crosby and the Penguins got bounced from the playoffs, so they had the 15th overall selection. Smart move on their end. I mean, they're a great team. They'll be making the playoffs, barring injury next year, so that first-round pick will probably be in the late 20s. Next move for the Wolves, building a winner on 2 cornerstones. So we will have no flexibility this offseason, but with 3 picks in the top 33 of the draft, we have an opportunity to reload the roster. So we're currently slotted to be the number 3 overall, plus the Nets, who are in the playoffs, got their 16 or 17. And the second round, which would be potentially 33. So that second round pick is dependent on where we fall in the lottery. If we get 1, we'd have 31, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The lottery is actually on Thursday. That's exciting stuff if you're a Wolves fan. We'll see what happens. The tough thing with 3 draft picks is the Wolves finished the season as the youngest team in the NBA with an average age of 24.1. That might push them to consider some trades. We're going to talk about a trade right after we're done talking about this as well. So what is the cost of moving into the top 2 in the draft? The Wolves like a player enough to move up. They might be able to do so. In that case, they'd probably have to include both of this year's first-round picks and a current player. Best fit, top 10 teams aim to choose the best available player. How about a trade in the lower part of the lottery? So the Nets first-round pick and a Wolves second, does that get you into the 10 to 14 range? Is there a team like San Antonio that would drop back 4 spots to get that number 33? So then you'd have 2 lottery picks, which makes a little bit more sense to me. I would like to just trade that 16 or 17. You'd really have to hit and find a diamond in the rough, like a Giannis or a Kawhi, one of those. So what's the value of the Nets first-round pick? One way to treat the draft like free agency is to trade a pick for a player. So the Suns traded the 24 pick to Boston for Aaron Baines. Yeah, that weird-looking white guy. Draft assets. So as of now, Minnesota's selecting in October. Through ESPN, they have us taking LaMelo Ball at number 3, Jaden McDaniels out of Washington at 16, and Zeke Naji out of Arizona at 33. The Wolves will send Golden State a top 3 protected first rounder next year. It will become unprotected if not conveyed. So that's who they have. Speaking of the Ball family, the Pelicans might be selling Lonzo Ball. It seems as though Lonzo has become available via trade. In an article via The Athletic, David Aldridge made a note that the Pelicans may be looking to shake up their roster, and that Ball looked as though he might not be a part of their future plans. Here's what they had for a trade with the Wolves. So the Wolves would get Lonzo Ball. We would trade Naz Reid in the 17th overall pick. So the Wolves likely will not have to give up much to obtain him. He'd be joined in the 3rd team of his career. He was a 2nd overall pick. Hasn't really lived up to expectations. But he's a good player. You know, he's a starter. He's a complimentary player, you know, would play well with D'Angelo and Carl. He's not a scorer. He's a facilitator. He's a 6'6" point guard. And then we'd have LaMelo and Lonzo. Let's go. He'd fit nice on the timeline of Russell and Karl Anthony Towns. It should be noted that he only has 1 more year on his contract before he's a restricted free agent. So something to think about. Gerson, he does like to trade those picks. We'll see. But, you know, we gotta shake it up. It all starts this Thursday, folks. Last week, we finished out the AFC over-under. So guess what? That means we're in the NFC, you idiots. Let's go. NFC over-under. We're going to start this week in the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys. Over-under 10 rushing touchdowns for Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott has topped 10 rushing touchdowns in his career just twice. He had 15 his rookie season and 12 last season. I'm going under. His whole career twice. I don't see it. He did go 2nd in our draft last night. Somebody was clearly drinking that Kool-Aid over there in Dallas. I love Ezekiel. I had him on 2 teams last year, one of which I made the championship but did not win. The other one, I ended up trading him out just to try and make the playoffs. But I've had him numerous years. He's consistent. He's a hell of a player. 10-plus touchdowns is a lot. So sorry, Zeke. I'm going under. The Giants and Saquon Barkley, who got passed up in that number 2 in my draft. Over under 1,249.5 yards. So can he get over 1,250 yards? Yes. I think he's going to have a healthy season. I think we're really going to see what Saquon is all about. So I'll give you the over, bud. The Eagles over under 3,944.5 passing yards for Carson Wentz. He did throw for over 4,000 yards last season with no receivers. He just can never stay healthy. And this one's a little tougher. I'm going to give it to him. I think he has a full health season. So there you go, Carson. You're welcome. Washington Redskins over under 999.5 receiving yards for Terry McLaurin, who's on my squad. I'm going over here. They have no receivers. If you're watching live, comment. Tell me another Washington football team receiver right now. His target share is going to be a lot. It's just if the quarterback play by Dwayne Haskins can really do anything. So we'll see. But that ends this week on our over-under. Now, I do a TV show or movie review every week, and I'm going to mix it up this week. This is going to be fun. I'm excited about this. I'm going to actually give you a trailer of my movie review. How about that? It's exciting.
This is dope.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of just looks like a bunch of scribbles and dicks.
When you get older, you realize that's kind of all life is. It's just a bunch of scribbles and dicks and violence all in a void.
Zeke was my sister's ex-boyfriend. He was the man.
You gotta jerk off before you go fuck a girl. I jerked off before I picked you up. So I always be prepared. I don't know where the fuck we're going tonight.
And he made me feel like the man.
Fuck yeah, Mo. Got a home run.
Who's gonna drink it?
Hold on, what's in that?
Whiskey, beer, cough syrup, and Zanny bar.
Oh, damn.
That's my dude.
You meet some punk and you have no idea at the time that he's going to be parked in front of your house every day for the rest of your goddamn life.
You're in high school.
You should be making friends your own age.
I like hanging out with Zeke. This weekend, Paul's house. It's so on.
You should sell my pot at your party.
You think I'm just going to walk into a party and everyone's going to want to buy pot for me?
Call me crazy.
Who's ready to party?
You're acting real silly right now, all right? That chick is like 16 years old.
Nick, I'm 16.
Exactly. What?
Kids are supposed to make mistakes. That's what the whole point of being a kid is. Yo, I think it's time.
What the? You permanently inked Tongue Daddy to your skin. What does that even mean?
Oh my God.
Big time adolescence. So that's my breakdown this week. Well, it's not a breakdown. It was a trailer. So I did watch that over the weekend. I was a Hulu original. So if you have Hulu, check it out. Pete Davidson, never seen him in anything. I've heard his name. He's a comedian. He's an actor. He was great. I'm a big fan of his. You saw and heard the trailer. Definitely worth checking out. The ending, they could have changed the ending. It didn't make me not want, like I wasted an hour and a half of my life. But it was good. I'd probably give it a 7.8 out of 10. We end every show here with a random fact. The unicorn is the national animal of Scotland. While Scotland proudly boasts the Loch Ness Monster, one of the world's most famous fabled creatures, the country opted to make another mythical beast its national animal, the unicorn. Although this might seem like an odd choice, Visit Scotland explains that unicorns played an integral role in the country's history. Back in the 12th century, William used the proud beast in the Scottish royal coat of arms. Well, there it is. Another episode of Mike on the Mic. I had a blast. I don't know about you guys. I don't care. I love you. RTF Sports Network, Twist.